Hello everybody, it's Megalithic here, otherwise known as Puglo Escobar, or at this time of year, Santa Paws. And today we're going to take a look at buying the Terrorbyte, which came as part of the After Hours DLC during summer 2018. So okay, let's get started, shall we? Now, the Terrorbyte can be found under the Warstock Cash and Carry website. Okay, as you can see, retailing there from a 900,000 odd, essentially speaking, effectively speaking, I should say, for the standard Terrorbyte. Now, if you want an interior color, another 105,000 there. And you can see there are a number of different sort of metal plate styles that you can go for here. So it starts from just under $1 million and obviously works its way up in price there, depending on how you wish to customize this vehicle. But like I say, the standing price, 900,000, effectively speaking, pretty much. Okie dokie, so we're just going to have a look through some of these different styles. Don't really see it making a hell of a lot of difference on that photograph there, really, does it? Seems like these are quite a waste of money. Okie dokie, well, I quite like that one. It's $53,000, you know. So, okay, turret station, well, yes, I certainly think we'll have that, and that's coming in at $300,000. Okay, a drone station, one of the main features of this particular vehicle, coming in at, what's that, $800,000, nearly $1 million for it, but it's a bit of fun, I hope it's worth it. We're going to have a specialized workshop there, a weapons workshop, I think, as well, why not? And that's the specialized workshop is $500,000, I think that's for the Oppressor Mark II, and the weapon workshop is essentially $250,000 at $245,000. Okay, now the price tag there, as you probably saw, was just a shade under $3 million for this fully kitted out. Okay, so starting at $1 million, $2 million of upgrades. So why don't we take a walk on over to my club here, and we'll go on and see where the Terrorbyte is. Okay, and like I say, this is my club that I purchased as part of the After Hours DLC, don't you know? Okie dokie, and here we are heading on inside. Okay, jolly good. Now I suppose there's yes, hold on a moment, what's going on? Going back out, are we? Right, I've got no idea what I'm doing here. Okay, yeah, so like I was saying, Terrorbyte released as part of the After Hours DLC there. What is it? Is it just another MOC? Well, yes, effectively, in some ways it is. It's just a small MOC that can launch specific missions and can also store the Oppressor Mark II. It also has access, an access panel that allows you to launch other missions for other related businesses. So all round, it is quite good, you know. It's a lot of money, but it's sort of partially functional anyway. And as you can see, we're having a look at my club here, taking a walk through, and you know what? I think it's looking rather spiffing, isn't it, really? Okay, you know, I think I'm going to, yes, you know what, I think I'm going to go for a drink, why not? Okay, yes, hello, it's the bartender we picked up from the snowy beach, if you've seen that video. And yes, I think I'll have a shot of whiskey, my darling, yes, pour it out, yes, hit it up and pour it out, or whatever the phrase is. There we go, my darling, right here, jolly good. Who are you? What are you doing in my club? Yes, I want one of those. Don't just show me the bottle, you silly. Right, okay, here we go, down the hatch. I'm jolly good. Do like my whiskey, you know. Do like a whoops-a-daisy. I think about a little too much, don't you know? Okie dokie, right. I think it's right, what the bloody hell happened there? Jesus Christ, my head is thumping. Right, I'm in an alley, aren't I? Oh, bloody hell. Okay, well, I suppose I've been kicked out of my own club for being drunk and disorderly, don't you know? Oh, well, never mind. Right, okay, well, it's served us our purpose anyway. We've purchased our Terrorbyte, we've delivered it to the garage, you know, and inside had a look at the club. Now, let's go on inside and have a look at this Terrorbyte, why don't we? Okay, well, like I say, this did come as part of the After Hours DLC, starting at $1 million, going up to 300 or 3 million, with the upgrades. And as you can see, actually, this would appear to be the first time that I've set foot in my Terrorbyte garage, and so we're going to get a rather long, extended cutscene and how wonderful that is. But it does give me a chance here to really talk you through the purposes of this nightclub again. Like I say, here we go. We've got a number of storage areas which will store the goods that we need to sell. The nightclub sort of independently accrues goods, it seems, from your other businesses without any cost to them. They get stored here, as you can see, and then you can sell them later on in various sell missions using different vehicles provided, or that one has to purchase for this particular enterprise. Again, that's the laptop, of course, that we need to access certain functions for the nightclub. But back to the Terrorbyte. Like I say, what do we say about it? Well, it is really rather good. Like I say, starting $1 million, going up to 3 million. If you want the drone and whatnot, you don't really need it. Okay, that's a vehicle there we're going to make some of the sales in, don't you know? But the main benefit for the Terrorbyte, like I say, is that one can access it. Essentially provides a hack where one can access remotely the computers for different businesses to perform different functions pretty much anywhere on the map. Okay, what does that mean? Well, that effectively means that you can source vehicles instead of having to go back to your Maze Bank office garage, or you can source your Maze Bank offices, I should say. You can source cargo in exactly the same way without having to go back to your offices. Okie dokie, where the bloody hell is this Terrorbyte? I could have sworn I went into the Terrorbyte garage there. Okie dokie. Right, well, we'll just take a little look around as we're up here, shall we? Yes, like I was saying, so yes, the Terrorbyte does come with a computer panel that allows you to access your different sort of individual businesses. Unfortunately, it doesn't provide sort of the full utilities that the other computers do. An example, for instance, would be gun running, or even your biker businesses. Now, you can launch a biker resupply mission from your Terrorbyte, but you can't actually purchase resupplies, which really is a shame. So we are still going to have to keep going back to our cocaine factories to repurchase those supplies. Now, I've got bloody no idea where my Terrorbyte is. You know, I could have sworn that I purchased a Terrorbyte. I've gone into my Terrorbyte garage, don't you know, and yet the wretched thing doesn't seem to be here. Rather alarming, don't you know, running up and down like a startled pug dog right now. I would have really rather expected to have been in here, you know. I could have sworn that I'd seen my friend's parked in his nightclub basement. I'm rather concerned. Okay, so we're just going to take a run over to the door here and see if it's outside or something. I can't imagine what could possibly be going on here, you know. Okay, here we are out on the street, and absolutely no bloody sign up the Terrorbyte. Like I say, I've paid $3 million for this vehicle, and I hope that I said, right, okay, Terrorbyte services, and request Terrorbyte. Okay, that might well be it. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. How does one get the Terrorbyte once one's purchased it? Well, there are a number of ways you can store it in your garage and go and pick it up from there, your nightclub basement. I believe one will actually need a nightclub in order to purchase this particular vehicle, but it can also be accessed through the interactive menu, and as you can see there, it has just told me that the Terrorbyte has been delivered to a nearby location. Okay, and we've jumped ahead there, and there it is. Okay, let's have a look at some of the Terrorbyte services then, shall we? We can request it, we can return to storage, we can request an Oppressor Mark II and such forth. But why don't we go and walk on inside and take a look inside our Terrorbyte now? Oops, a daisies. No, apparently I'm not doing that, am I? Apparently I'm going to move it. Okie dokie, there we go. So here we go, moving the Terrorbyte back to the nightclub. Like I say, one will need a nightclub, I believe, in order to store this vehicle. Okie dokie, don't want to squash any of my revelers, don't you know? I'm not a garbage pan. I wouldn't do anything like that. So okie dokie, here we go, and driving the Terrorbyte down to the nightclub garage. Okay, jolly good. Okay, now as it happens, I do have to end my gameplay here, and so we pick it up on another day, don't you know? Not spawning inside the Terrorbyte garage with the Terrorbyte there, I'm afraid. No, spawning inside the hallway of my nightclub, as you can see. And I think the first thing that I'm going to do here is to switch back to my regular styling, don't you know? Okie dokie, there we go, jolly good. Right, okay, now, why don't we just go and take a walk out onto the street, you know? Now, this is around Christmas time, you know, the snow's on the ground and whatnot. It's all a sort of festive time of year. I've recently purchased myself a nightclub and a Terrorbyte, don't you know? So I'm feeling rather sort of festive myself, really, rather happy. So why don't we just go and bring a bit of season's greetings, some good cheer to the people of Los Santos and all the other players in the game by firing a few fireworks into the sky, you know, and sort of just celebrating, really. Okay, so I think here we go then. Merry Christmas each and every one of you, and Happy New Year. I hope you're all as thrilled as I am at this particular point in time, and whoops, at daisies, right, what the hell was that? Oh, bloody hell, no. Right, oh, Jesus Christ. No, oh, bloody. Well, there we go. That's a jolly nice reply for my Merry Christmas, wasn't it now? Okay then, so here we are back inside the Terrorbyte garage. It was rather unfortunate that we were set about by an individual there, but unfortunately, as I said before, this sort of thing can happen in a public lobby, you know. Anyway, here we go. We finally get ourselves our Terrorbyte back into our Terrorbyte garage, don't you know? So why don't we take a walk on inside and see what we can see? Right, and this is the first time I've gone inside, so doubtless we'll get some form of cutscene, don't you know? And here we go.
I'm talking to you live from... You don't need to know where. This is your truck, a vehicle I designed and assembled, from the keyboards to the codes the systems run on. We should have everything in here we need to take down any score we want. You can modify an Oppressor Mark II back there if you want to buy one. I mean, It's just a flying bike with twin machine guns, but I guess that's not everyone's bag. You just jump on the bike to modify or deploy it directly from the Terrorbyte. Your weapons workshop is over here. For the kinds of jobs I have planned, you're gonna need some serious hardware, so it's for the best you got one. The workshop will allow you to buy and upgrade a range of weaponry into superior Mark II variants. Or make them look pretty, if that's what you're into. Now, that big touchscreen in the center of the room is where you should really be looking. We'll QB everything we're doing from there, so log on when you're ready, and I'll talk you through it.
Okay, it would appear that we're going to get babbled to more later on, won't it? Okay, well, never mind. Well, like I say, so this is the Terrorbyte. It got festive lights in here. As you can see, a Christmas tree. These sort of things won't normally be in here. Don't really like the colouring, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Might have to change that later. Okie dokie, right then. I suppose we're going to have to set up a CEO and have a listen.
If working for an idiot has taught me anything, it's how to make things idiot-proof. So you get to run scores with software that's actually usable. How's that for a change? There should be some names up here you're familiar with. All the illicit businesses in Los Santos and Blaine County. What my little app does is allow you to hack into those businesses, if you own them, to run source or supply runs from the truck. You know, like hack into disruption logistics for a gun-running resupply, or into SecuroServe to source your desired cargo. You'll still need to return the stuff to the usual places, but it should save you a lot of travel time.
Right here, she's pretty much talked us through it there. Like she said, there are a number of different functions that this panel provides us. You can see we can launch client jobs, we can launch air freight cargo missions, special cargo missions, biker supplies, gun running supplies, and the vehicle cargo. Like I say, unfortunately, one can't actually purchase resupply. Oh, bloody hell!
But now it's my show. I'm gonna run things different. We're not looking for retirement level paydays and our faces on the news. We're taking down good scores, quick and clean, and moving on to the next one, okay? These are jobs clients will pay well for if we get them what they need. Just select a job you want to do, and hey, I'd always recommend working with the crew. This kind of work, other outfits may try to stop you. Good luck.
Okay, there she is again with more fascinating information. That lady just won't quit flapping her yap. Alright, well here I am. I'm stood in the area now where the Oppressor Mark II will be stored. Don't you know, on the left there, as you can see, is the weapons workshop. If one wishes to modify it, one can go to a war stock cash and carry, as you saw earlier in the video. We'll just go on again, give you a quick refresh of that. I'd like to change the colours, like I say, from this purple and green to a standard green, although I don't believe I do that on this particular occasion. Yes, there we go, like I say. So you've got your interior tints, your interior decoration, whatever the hell that is, I'm entirely sure. Turret stations, drone stations. Turret stations not really necessary, drone stations not really necessary. I would recommend the specialized workshop, though, as the lady said. That is where one can modify the Oppressor Mark II, and there's little point in buying one if one can't modify it. Okay, there we go. Still rather gaudy and hideous with that purple and green. You know, like I say, we'll be changing that later, but not at this particular moment in time. Okay, let's take a walk on outside. So, like I say, what are the benefits to this Terrorbyte? Well, if you haven't figured that out by now, you haven't been paying much attention, have you? Like I say, this is a vehicle that can be used, called out anywhere through the interactive menu, and can be used to launch certain missions. The missions that you'll probably most be using are sourcing vehicles or sourcing cargo. One can always start resupply missions if one is inclined to do so, but I'm not particularly, to be quite frank with you. Now, if you're not particularly inclined to go ahead and, how about that? We're just going to give it a bit of an upgrade. Okay, give you an idea here. Go through some of the different options. As you can see, we've got no weapons on there. We had to do that in the war stock cash and carry thing. Yes, like I was saying, so really, I suppose, technically speaking, if you don't use the biker business, the gun running, the vehicle cargo or the special cargo, then don't purchase this thing, really. Although one would ask, how on earth do you make your money if you don't use those? Of course, if one doesn't purchase this, will represent a problem with storing the Oppressor Mark II. You know, I do believe that in order to purchase the Oppressor Mark II, one will need to actually own a Terrorbyte. In order to own the Terrorbyte, one will need to purchase a nightclub. Yes, you can see how Rockstar have got us by the short and curlies there. They provided us with a rather fantastic weapon, the Oppressor Mark II, but in order to purchase it, we need to spend about $6 million on other things, really, don't we? The nightclub and the Terrorbyte. So there we go. Right, what do we think? Well, I quite like it, to be quite frank with you. I do find it quite useful. I do use it to launch sort of vehicles, vehicle cargo missions from anywhere on the map. Rather handy. Use it to store my present. Do quite like it. Should you purchase it? Well, if you've got $3 million to spend on a nightclub and $3 million to spend on the Terrorbyte, then sure, go ahead. Why not? It's the only place you can store the Oppressor Mark II. Anyway, thank you for watching.